What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to On the Roll with Matt. Today, I want to talk about something that I think applies to disabled people, able bodied people, people in recovery, people battling anxiety, people fighting depression, people trying to break patterns, and people who are simply trying to make it through the day. I want to talk about mind warfare. Because before some battles ever happen in the physical world, they already started in the mind. For me, with my disability, this is not just a nice phrase. This is daily life. When I transfer in the bedroom or when I transfer in the bathroom, there is a battle that happens in my head before my body even moves. Thoughts start coming in fast. What if I fall? What if I hurt myself? What if I get stuck? What if I have to call 911? What if EMS has to come just to help me get up? What if I get another bill for something that feels so unnecessary, but in that moment, I have no other choice? And if I am not careful, one thought becomes a tunnel. Then that tunnel becomes a rabbit hole. Then that rabbit hole becomes doom and gloom. Before I have even transferred, my mind has already created 10 different worst case scenarios. That is warfare. And in those moments, I have to stop the train before it runs away with me. I have to breathe. I have to reset. I have to look at what is actually in front of me, not just what fear, at what is actually in front of me, not just what fear is trying to project onto me. Then I have to transfer, breathe, and execute. Not recklessly, not carelessly, not pretending there is no risk, but with focus, with awareness, with faith, with strategy. For me, I give glory to God because through Him I find strength that I know does not come from me alone. There have been times where I have been stuck in the bathroom by myself, and I could feel the fear trying to rise up. I could feel my body getting tired. I could feel my mind trying to spiral. And then somehow I make it to my wheelchair. And I know everybody may not understand this, but sometimes it feels like my wife was right there helping me, even when she physically was not in the room. That to me is God's strength meeting me in the middle of the battle, not removing every struggle, not making every transfer easy, not taking away every hard moment, but giving me enough strength, enough breath, enough focus, and enough grace to get through what is in front of me. That is a fight I battle daily. And it is not just in transfers, it is in the choices I make, what I eat, how I move, how much energy I spend, whether I put myself in the situation that increases my risk of falling, whether I listen to my body or ignore the warning signs. Disability forces me to think ahead in ways that a lot of people may never have to think about. But here is where this becomes bigger than disability, because everybody has some kind of internal battlefield. For one person, it may be addiction. For another, it may be anxiety. For another, it may be anger. For another, it may be bitterness. For another, it may be insecurity shame, trauma, depression, or the constant voice that says, you are never going to change. And this is where a behavioral health lens matters. In cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, there is a focus on the connection between thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. In simple terms, what you think affects how you feel, and how you feel can influence what you do. That does not mean every thought is true. That does not mean every feeling gets to drive the vehicle. And that does not mean one bad moment defines the whole day. It means we learn to slow down and examine what is happening inside of us. What am I thinking right now? Is this thought helping me or harming me? Is this fear based on the present moment, or is it dragging me into a future that has not happened yet? What is the next wise choice I can make? That is how patterns begin to break. Not always in one dramatic moment, but through practice. We interrupt the negative thought. We challenge the destructive belief. We choose a healthier response. We do the next right thing. And no, we are not going to get it right every day. I do not get it right every day. Some days I am strong. Some days I am frustrated. Some days I am focused. Some days I am tired of having to be focused. But growth is not about perfection. Growth is about returning to the work again and again. Now, from a person centered therapy perspective, there is also something powerful here. Person centered therapy reminds us that people are not just problems to be fixed. People carry dignity, strength, capacity, and potential. That means you are not powerless just because you are struggling. You are not broken beyond repair just because you have battles. You are not weak because your mind gets loud. You are human. And inside of you, there are tools that may need to be unlocked, practiced, and strengthened. I know not everybody shares my Christian worldview, and I respect that. For me, my foundation is God. My strength comes from Him. My ability to keep fighting, keep choosing, keep breathing, and keep getting back up is rooted in my relationship with Christ. But wherever you are coming from, I want you to hear this. You have tools inside of you. You have defensive tools and offensive tools. Defensive tools help you protect your peace, boundaries, awareness, breathing, prayer, support, rest, asking for help, removing yourself from situations that pull you backward. Offensive tools help you move forward. Discipline, truth, action, healthy routines, accountability, courage, faith, choosing recovery, choosing healing, choosing to respond differently than you did before. You cannot always control what battle shows up at your door, but you can work on how you respond when it gets there. If I fall, I still have a choice in how I respond. If I get stuck, I still have a choice in how I speak to myself. If fear shows up, I still have a choice in whether I let it lead or whether I pause, breathe, and move with wisdom. That does not mean the situation is easy. That does not mean I enjoy the struggle. That does not mean I pretend it does not hurt, frustrate me, or exhaust me. It means I refuse to hand my mind over to fear without a fight. And I want to challenge you today. What thought pattern keeps pulling you into the same place? What rabbit hole do you keep falling into mentally? What lie have you rehearsed so many times that it started sounding like truth? Maybe it is time to interrupt it. Maybe it is time to stop calling fear wisdom. Maybe it is time to stop calling avoidance peace. Maybe it is time to stop calling dysfunction normal just because it is familiar. The battlefield of the mind is real, but so is healing, so is growth, so is faith, so is discipline, so is support. So is the ability to change how you respond, even when you cannot change everything about your situation. For my disabled warriors, I see you. For the people fighting battles nobody else sees, I see you. For the people who are tired of having to be strong, I see you. But do not mistake tired for defeated. Take the breath, interrupt the thought, use the tools, make the next wise choice. And if all you can do today is pause before spiraling, that is still a victory. If all you can do today is ask for help, that is still strength. If all you can do today is get through the next transfer, the next craving, the next anxious thought, the next hard conversation, or the next moment without giving up on yourself, that still counts. This is not about having every answer. This is about building the kind of internal life that can stand in the middle of pressure and still choose direction. For me, I give God the glory in the middle of it all, in the bathroom, in the bedroom, in the transfer, in the fear, in the recovery, in the growth, in the moments I feel strong, and in the moments I know I need help. Because the battle may be real, but I am not fighting it alone, and neither are you. This has been On the Roll with Matt. Keep fighting the right battles. Keep interrupting the thoughts that are trying to bury you. Keep choosing growth, healing, and wisdom. And remember, sometimes victory starts with one breath, one pause, and one choice.